Veterans carry emotional weight daily. PTSD, depression, anxiety, grief, anger. For some individuals, it can be rough because it's a lot for them to carry. A lot of things that they have experienced in the military. So it doesn't just stop when they leave, it comes out with them, and it could affect their family members as well.
Retired Sergeant Melvin Gatewood. Operation Iraqi Freedom Veteran, IED Survivor. Purple Heart recipient, Wounded Warrior.
Transition is hard for military personnel and civilians. When you're leaving a stable environment and you're coming out into the community where you no longer have that, you have to find it. Some people can do that with ease, some people can't. These symptoms can stop you and hinder you from going forward in life. Grief for me at that time was twofold. It was grief of leaving this large organization to grief of losing a battle buddy on the in war. So dealing with that, it was tough. Sergeant Cooper was a great individual. Met him prior to us deploying to go to Iraq. And actually, after I was injured and I was heading home, he encouraged me during a time where I was really feeling down and out. When I was at home recuperating, I found out about him passing. That first ruck, it was a vision from God, and it was told to me to do it for Sergeant Cooper. So when I incorporated the ruck after the military, it was more so symbolic. It wasn't that we were carrying tools, but we were carrying grief. We were carrying sorrow. We were carrying all of these things from the military. So we wrote on bricks, and we put the bricks inside of the bag so they symbolized the weight. As time went on, I came up with the recovery vest, and we're using patches. The symbolism of taking those patches off is freeing yourself of those emotional bondage and weight. Once you leave that ruck, I want you to have a game plan, a point of contact. So whatever that is that you're shedding, let's try to address that. Get to a point 15 miles in and you're like, I want to quit. And I think that that is more so symbolic to the road of recovery. It's not going to always be the perfect terrain, and you have to dig deep. It was a time that I didn't want to talk about those tough things, but I knew on the other side of this, it was victory. I have been the soldier who was once carried, and I have also carried others. With my personal mission as far as leaving no veteran behind, it aligns perfectly with what the Wounded Warrior Project is doing. Veterans need ways to connect in multiple ways, and Wounded Warrior Project is doing that every day, whether that is volunteering within their community, whether that is joining veterans at a local walk or run, showing the connection and the similarities that we have as a community of Americans standing for veterans. I can always get behind that, and that's the kind of community that I want to be a part of. I've seen so many people say that they have been impacted by these rucks. And if this is my contribution to the world, I'm gladly doing it.